Let me look at him, get my hands on him.
Anytime they could be prime time.
We have a domino. Golly. Is you pulling? Me neither.
Proverbs 13 says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." We are the recipients of a rich heritage. Because of that, we believe the inheritance of our faith will long outlast the inheritance of our riches.
God blesses us so much, dude.
The way it was reaches back and receives what the generation before us has handed us, and it reaches forward and hands it to the generation that follows us. No matter the weapon or the gear, our mission is to show you our way.
What about this, boy?
This is our faith. This is our family. This is our heritage.
Domino!
This is the way it was.
Ever since Sid's son Gabe came to Kansas to play ball, it's been home to the McCullens. And one of the perks to living in Kansas, the whitetails. So it's no surprise that when goats started coming up to watch Gabe play ball, it was shortly after he fell in love with the land and all the animals that he could hunt. So when Lynn and Sid were up here on a more permanent basis, I guess you could say things got serious and the whitetails began to fall.
Yesterday, I got up in my old walnut tree stand and a gale force northwest wind lightly blew me out of the tree. I had better scent. I got down before it got dark. I saw a nice little young 8-point. He bedded down in the woods 30 yards from me, never knew I got out of the tree and left. That's how bad the wind was blowing. This afternoon, it's still blowing pretty darn hard, but I've been putting some stands up and setting some cameras in some new places trying to find a deer. But this afternoon, I'm already down here in this country. My old standby, my pin-up place, stand that's been there for several years. I'm gonna go get in it and just see what shows up.
Well, Goat, it looks like the old trusty stand may pay off with a big old Kansas whitetail.
He got a whiff of me or something else spooked him, but that sucker got out of town in a hurry. And I'm not sure why, because I am almost 30 yards from that deer, and I am, or was, and I'm southwest of him, and the wind is blowing a steady clip out of northwest. I mean, I feel it blowing in the windows here on me. I don't know what in the world just happened there. Sometimes you can do all you can do, and it just doesn't work. I wasn't gonna shoot that deer anyhow.
While Sid's trying to figure out why this buck is acting up a little, we're going to take you back to a hunt in 2016 when Sid took this awesome 10-point with his longbow.
It's prime time. Anytime they could be prime time because it's the rut. I'm back in the same stand that I self-filmed shooting a doe out of early this year. There's a big old 8-point up here with double drops. He comes by like once a month. Maybe today's the day.
Pretty. He came at just the right time. Folks, I hope we got good footage on this thing. I don't know, it would happen in a hurry and I just turned the camera on and pointed that way and I didn't get a chance to zoom in. But I knew the shot was perfect for a heart. In my mind, it may show different on the video, he dropped and was going forward. If he didn't, I'd just pull to the left. But, good deal.
The Way It Was is brought to you by WTL Ministries, reaching outdoorsmen through the gospel of Jesus Christ.
This is what I'm shooting in lieu of my longbow when I'm in a situation like this. Expedition bow, this little buddy will reach up, scat, and go. And it's been a long time since I shot a compound, but my goodness, this thing gets there in a hurry. If I miss tonight, it won't be the equipment's fault. That's the excursion. It's very forgiving. I need all the forgiveness I can give. The good Lord knows that too. It kind of fits right with our program. Very forgiving. So, I'm gonna hush and get serious about this. Plus, you're gonna make a mistake and come in a day like today may be the day.
As if trying to figure out where your target buck was going to be in daylight wasn't hard enough, looks like Sid's being thrown a curveball every spot he goes.
I've got one of these new 3/4 ton trucks that's about 8 feet too tall. Well, I wish I had a bird dog dead point because that old over there. I mean, she's got that sucker nailed.
I don't know, Goat. Maybe 2019 just isn't your year.
That's an older deer. That's that 10 point we're looking for. That's a long shot. I'm gonna try and bow. I'm stretching my distance. I wheeled it. God dog it. Watch him. I think he went down out there, didn't he? Okay. I was telling Bo, was that long bow. That's stretching my distance. And I aimed a little high. I thought I was gonna have a little more drop than I did. And I didn't, and I air milled it. But it's rifle season. It's been a long season. And I got my trusty old Remington 742. This model of gun has probably been responsible for more meat in the freezer than anything in where I'm from in Louisiana. It's dependable. It worked 50 years ago when I first got it, and it's still working now. And I'll be tickled to death if we can put our hands on that deer out there. Thank you, Lord, for all the opportunities you've given me. It's a great morning. If you don't hunt, you should. If you hunt, take somebody with you. Thank the good Lord for every day that you get the chance to go out. Both my boys killed their deer out of that old blind on the Thanksgiving break. Chase, my oldest one, killed one afternoon. I was filming him. I came back in the next afternoon with Gabe, and he killed a big old 8 points. It was his target deer. And his deer, he shot him right there, and he ran right out here and fell right over there by that tree. And if I'm not wrong, I see a nice 10-point rack laying almost in the identical spot. Let's go look. Look at here, look at here. That's a nice deer. Any way you look at it,
It's been a long season. It's December the 5th. And I started out being kind of picky, and then I found a giant deer. We got pictures of him, got some video of it. And I've been longbow hunting all fall since September, and now it's December 5th. We were waiting for an older, mature buck. My giant deer disappeared on us, and now this rifle season, I still wanted to kill him with a longbow, but I airmailed him, and it's probably not the last one. But I had my old Remington, and I brought it with me. But he didn't know really what scared him. That arrow flew over his back, and he went about 60, 75 yards and stopped and gave it one look back. And that was all the time that I needed, and I am tickled to death with this old deer.
The Way It Was is brought to you by Monster Meal. Animal attraction, premium nutrition, superior results.
Okay, it's the day before Thanksgiving. It's about 2 o'clock and I'm in the stands at the north line. Seems like I'm wearing this thing out. But deer's coming and going all during the middle of the day. I hadn't seen the deer I'm looking for in about 4 days now. So hey, the way I think about that, he's due. So that's the story. I'm gonna stay here till dark if necessary. And if I don't get something today, there's always tomorrow.
Sid has a few bucks that he's after, but this buck is new. And Sid, well, he's got an itch that needs to be scratched, if you get my drift.
That should be a dead deer. That should be a dead deer. It's a nice 9 point. A deer I hadn't seen. He wasn't very heavy. And that's a great deer. And I watched him, and I'm like, you know, that's the first time I've seen this deer. It may be the last time I see this deer. And you never count on deer until you put your hands on him. But I believe that's got to be a dead deer. I don't think it would be long finding him. Keep our fingers crossed. Okay, I'm on the ground now, and I was sitting right up there in that tree, in that double set. And I know my arrow broke. I saw it break when he turned to run. And oh, there's blood already. Just took a few steps. And I thought I saw blood gushing out of him. There's my arrow. I'm gonna turn this thing off. Trying to show you an ugly old happy man. I'm gonna grab my bow and walk up this trail, see what I can find. I'll keep the camera with me. But that is my deer, and I am tickled to death to use this bow. Thank you, Larry. To take that nigh grown buck with.
The Way It Was is brought to you by Hybrid Lights. The power of the sun and in the palm of your hand.
It's October 24th. There was a big-bodied deer came in way before light. I couldn't film. I could just see a dark form. I hope it wasn't my target deer. But if it was, maybe he'll come back. Or maybe this afternoon will be better. I hate coming into a food source before daylight, but with this wind blowing in the front coming in, I felt like they might be on their feet this morning after daylight, so it's a gamble. We'll see. Boy, I shot low. I hit low expecting him to duck. And I had the perfect quartering shot. And I don't know, I just expected him to duck. I hit lower third and I hit, I think, below lower third. Oh well, let's see, I'm gonna play the footage back. We'll go from there. All right, I'm down on the ground and I did find some blood right here where he was standing, and I found somebody that went in the woods right there. We crossed the creek. Gabe spotted my deer from across the creek, and I told him it was going to be short and sweet, or it was going to be long. He probably didn't go 60 or 70 yards from where I shot him. That Simmons broadhead did the number, I'm telling you. But I gotta stop before I get to the deer and tell you something. When I was in the truck this morning, I asked the good Lord, I'm like, could you bless me with a good encounter? That's all I asked for. Not only did he give me a good encounter, but he helped guide that arrow to the right spot. I was scared it was low, but undoubtedly it was perfect. And you get that Simmons tree shark inside of something, and it's gonna work them over. Wow. Is he pretty or what? This is what we saw on the camera, our covert. These little old matching kickers, and he had another brow tine right up here, same height. Broke it off night before last. Broke off about 4 inches of the main beam last night. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for this day. Thank you for my family. Thank you for this fine, fine buck.
You know, there's something about being outside and seeing all that God created for us. I remember when I was a little bitty boy, probably the first time or the first couple of times that I'd sat in a deer stand all by myself. Dad had dropped me off early before the sun had come up, and sitting out and looking into those black woods, and then watching the sun as it lifted up and really woke the woods up. Those sunbeams just shining through those limbs on those trees, and seeing God's creation wake up. There's a verse in Psalm 19 that says the heavens declare the glory of the Lord, and the skies proclaim His greatness. I want you to think about that. God's glory is revealed to us in all that He created. God made it just for us to enjoy. He's given us dominion as the crown of His creation. We have dominion over this earth that He's created for us. And when we step out into God's creation, it draws our heart to Him. Let me ask you a question. Has there ever been a time in your life that you began a relationship with Jesus Christ? Trusting in Him, believing in Him, asking Him to forgive you of your sin? You know, you can do that right now, right where you are. In fact, there's a website that you can go to. It's www.inthehunt.org, and it explains, it gives you scriptures about how God desires to have a relationship with you. In fact, there are people on that website that want to talk to you about those things and talk and maybe answer some questions that you have about having a relationship with Jesus Christ. Hey, we're praying for you that you would connect to the God who loves you and created all of this for you and sent His Son to die for you. Hey, thanks for watching The Way It Was.
The Way It Was brought to you by Expedition Archery, Tacticam, Three Rivers Archery, Black Eagle Arrows, Simmons Shark Broadheads. Want to know what the guy's been up to all year? Check us out on Facebook and Instagram for the latest updates happening with the show.